Hi and welcome back to my channel, and without further ado, let's start with my journal with me. But first up, of course, I'm showing you just these few days of journals that I've set up and yet to fill in. So today is going to be a more express journal with me that I'm going to show you when I want to have a very quick setup of my journal spread. I will normally use this vintage collection pack that I got from my local Shopee, which I will be showing you right about now. There we go. So it's a pack of this vintage collection. I'm not sure what brand it is. I don't see the brand stamp on it anywhere. So I love this type of vintage collection package because they give you lots of vintage ephemera and elements that you can actually just use it on your spread. Of course, they're not actually vintage items. They are just printed on a thicker paper, like a cardstock thing. It's not as thick as a cardstock, but yeah, it's thicker than normal paper. So they have these ephemeras and vintage vellums and like the measuring tape and all that. So it's very easy to incorporate them in your spread. That's why when I on a more lazy mode or when I want to do a quick setup, I will normally use this vintage package or vintage collection. Yep, they have a few package, and I think I got all of them because I love using them, especially this vellumy type of ephemeras. I think they're absolutely gorgeous and work so well with any spread that you want to set up. So I choose these three vintage pieces, and I want to apologize for my lighting again. I think this phone is so sensitive towards lights, so when I move things around, it gets, I don't know, agitated. I'm very sorry. I will try to find out what is going on with it. It's too sensitive. Like, yeah, if I move things around, it will have that disturbance. So I tear the book page vintage ephemera in half, and I'm going to put it down with my glue stick. At first I had to put it on my left hand side, but then I love the tear effect on the other side more, so I changed my mind to put it down on the other side instead. Actually do this voice over the next. I filmed this yesterday, which was a Sunday night, and now it's Monday morning. I have a few minutes before I need to go to work, and since this is a short journal with me compared to my regular journal with me, so I'm able to grab a few minutes to do this voice over. So here I am putting down my collage. I really love that flower vellum ephemera, and I love this package the most out of the 4 or 5 package that I got. And I think for this collection I bought two package of it because I love it so much. And here I'm gonna use my favorite glue tape. Some of you have been asking me about it. This is the Plus Spin Eco, and as you can see, it's easily taken apart to replace the glue tape with your refill. Yep. I know that Kakuyo or maybe Tombow are more more famous brand. I seldom use Tombow. Well, I'm very sorry about that disturbance again. But I did try Kakuyo at first because like I said it's a more well-known brand, but it doesn't work well for me at all. Like, it totally didn't work out for me. I never ever got one that works for me. I bought like 2 to 3 casing and 3 to 4 or even 5 refills. None work at all. So luckily I found this Spin Eco Plus, and it works absolutely great for me. It's a Japanese brand, but I'm not sure whether it it was made in Japan, but sometimes you know Japanese brand, but they are made somewhere else like Vietnam or China. Yep. Anywho, now I'm taking out this classic letterpress card, and I want to use this new stamp that I got from something of mine. It's Lin Channing's what do you call this, fern stamp, fern specimen stamp. And as you can see, it's brand new. It's still in the package, in this package, and I have to unbox it. Oops, sorry. Unbox it on the camera here. And it's a bit difficult to take out, so I do it off camera. And like most of all, I think all of Lin Channing's stamp, you have to assemble yourself, which is okay. I mean, it's easily glued on. The stamp is high quality, yep. And for this particular specimen is a set of 2. Yep. And at first I want to just stamp it directly on the letterpress card, but then I changed my mind. I want to do a little collage there as well. So I took out this Lin Channing gum labels. It's actually the freebie that came with the stamp. Yep. So I want to do a little bit of collage there, a small little collage. And I'm going to use this 36 sub-low glossing paper instead to stamp, to have the fern stamp on it. Yep. And for glossing paper, I would use Stats on ink pad, because the other ink pad doesn't work well with glossing paper or glossy paper at all, like my VersaFine or VersaFine Clear. And for me, up till now, only the Stats on stamp pad works with glossy paper. So that's my favorite stamp pad for something you want on permanent on a certain type of surface of paper. But you have to let it dry for a while. Even the instructions say so, like 10 minutes. Yep. I tried with VersaFine Clear. Even after 24 hours, the ink is still wet on my glossing paper, and yeah. So Stats On is the one to go with. For me, at least, yeah. So as you can see, I didn't even tear out the fern yet from the glossing paper because I want to let it dry first. It actually does dry pretty quickly, yep. But it's still a bit sticky as of now. It is dried, but it's sticky. Yep. And here I'm using my glue tape for those ephemera that's in proper shape like square or rectangle. I will use my glue tape. Yep. And now I'm going to tear this out. No, I'm going to use, I want to try out whether I can put my Saturday there, which I use my We Are Memory Keepers word punch board, and I'm absolutely crazy about that right now. I love using that. As you can see, is in most of my spread recently. Yep. But I've decided to put the Saturday on the right side, so I'm going to tear this fern out now. Yep. Now, seeing glossing paper are see-through, so I felt it's a bit bare. I'm going to use this word or sentence stamp that I recently got to put it at the background. I decided whether I want to use a larger sentence or a smaller sentence. And I've decided smaller it is. I love using the sentence stamps or word stamps or phrases stamps. I think they are, they give a very nice touch to your journal setup. Yep. I use the VersaFine Vintage Sepia ink pad, one of my favorite color. Now for glossing paper, I will just usually put some glue tape at each corner, because if I glue everything down, as in I put glue on the whole surface, the glassing paper won't show up anymore. It's like blended into the page. So if you want that effect, of course it works pretty well, but I want to show the glassing paper there is there, so I would usually just put the glue tape on each corner of my glassing paper, yeah, so that you can still see the glassing paper there, but then it's still transparent, so it's gorgeous. And I want to put this vintage tickets as part of the collage. I'm so sorry about the lighting. I think you all can see I'm struggling with it. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to really solve that. Anywho, next up will be my date. Now I will stick this Saturday down first using the Mod Podge for paper. Now I have a smaller Mod Podge that is the yellow color label. That one doesn't work well with paper at all. So but this Mod Podge blue label, which is for paper, it works awesome. And I use this brush, which I didn't clean the last time I used it, so as you can see it became stiff. Highly advise that you clean your brush after you use it, so yeah, else it got stiff all over. But anywho, this Mod Podge for paper works absolutely awesome with paper. The one with the yellow label, Mod Podge matte, it crumbles up my paper. Maybe I'm the last to know that you shouldn't use that on paper. You should use this one instead. So next up, I'm going to use this again. Is this Lin Channing? I think this is from Li Hao. No, it's from Lin Channing as well. Sorry, yeah. This frame stamp is also from Lin Channing, and I also got it from something of mine. I'm using this VersaFine Onzy Black ink pad, and I'm gonna stamp down the date with my date stamp, which is the 13th of July. And here I'm using the Blue Lagoon VersaFine ink pad to stamp down my date. And then last but not least, I am going to do some distressing on the edge. Lately, all my spread I have distressing on the edge. That is my how to say, my favorite for now, or my trend, or my character for now to distress the edge. Here I use the vintage photo distress ink pad, Tim Holtz. Now for this spread, I didn't use any Tim Holtz products except for this distress ink pad. Normally I would incorporate Tim Holtz stamp, as I love his stamp a lot and his stencil. But as I said, today's setup is more of an express setup, something I want to do quickly. So I will normally just use the vintage collection package and some stamps, and I didn't even use any washi for this spread. Yep. But I really like how it turns out. So something to reference to if you want to have a quick setup of your journal spread. Yep. And then I think that will be it. Yes. So I hope you guys enjoy my journal with me video, and thank you all for those of you who left those lovely comments. And again, if any supplies you want to know, please leave a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can, normally within a day. Yeah, I'll normally check my messages during my break or after work or at night. Yeah. So again, thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for liking my video and commenting and subscribing to it. Anything at all, please let me know. Thank you and bye.